crevasse. I pulled the trigger. The gun kicked hard in my hand, and a brilliant red star shot into the abyss. The darkness was shattered. For a few brief, glorious seconds, the chasm was illuminated. The flare revealed walls of ancient crystalline ice, fantastically shaped and impossibly deep. The red light reflected off a million facets, turning the chasm into a cathedral of terrifying beauty. It was a place of immense power and age. The effect was immediate and stunning. As the flare burned, a terrible high-pitched shriek rose from the depths. It was not a sound made by wind or ice. It was a sound of pain, of a living thing being wounded. The whispers stopped. The mocking laughter died. The ice around the chasm groaned and shuddered, and a huge wave of frigid air washed over me, nearly knocking me down. The red light of the flare died, plunging the chasm back into darkness. But the silence that followed was different. It was empty. The presence, the watching intelligence was gone. I had fought back, and I had won. The victory at the chasm gave me a renewed strength. The fear was gone, replaced by a cold, hard determination. The world was still white and empty, but it no longer felt alive and menacing. It was just ice and snow again. A formidable obstacle, but one I could overcome. I turned my back on the now silent crevasse and started walking again. My body was screaming in protest. Every muscle ached, my stomach was just a hollow pit of hunger, and the cold was relentless. But my mind was clear. I had a purpose to live. The days blurred into a grueling routine of walking, resting, and walking again. I finished my last energy bar, chewing it slowly, savouring every last crumb. After that, there was only snow. I ate handfuls of it to quench my thirst, knowing it was a risky move that lowered my core body temperature. But I had no choice. The landscape was a monotonous, repeating pattern of white on white. I navigated by the sun when it was visible, and by the direction of the wind when it was not. I was a machine, putting one foot in front of the other, driven by sheer will. Loneliness was still my companion, but it was a quiet one now. I no longer heard whispers. Instead, I filled the silence with memories. I thought about my childhood, my family, my friends. I remembered the day I decided to become a scientist. I recalled every success, every failure, every moment that had led me to this place. These memories were my fuel. They reminded me of the life I was fighting to return to. They were a shield against the vast, empty wilderness that surrounded me. I grew weaker with each passing day. My walk became a slow, shuffling stagger. Sometimes I would fall, and it would take every ounce of my strength to get back up. The thought of just lying down in the snow, of letting the